There's one line that you wrote in your piece. You said, Mr. Trump and his followers have in one dramatic stroke transformed the GOP from a traditionally conservative party into an avowedly populist one. Could you define populist as you mean it today in 2016, Jerry? And what does that mean, having a populist in president, but maybe not necessarily a populist Congress? Talk to us about that dynamic as well.
It's a good question, because populist is a kind of a slippery term, and it can mean a lot of different things to different people. I think in this context it means basically skepticism of the establishment and skepticism of big institutions. And that includes the Republican Party, by the way, not just the Democratic Party or Congress, and even skepticism of a Republican-led Congress. There was an awful lot of anger directed at the Republican leadership in Congress in the Trump campaign, as well as the Democratic leadership in Congress. And so I think it is a sense that big institutions have failed us. Big is in some ways bad. The smaller institutions and more local institutions work better. So that's, I think, the populism that we're talking about right now. That's what Donald Trump tapped into. The trick is to recognize that it's as big a problem almost for his Republican Party as it is for his Democratic Party. He's standing in a way on an island between the two-party establishments.
And could that be a good thing?
Well, it depends on how it could be, absolutely, because in a way he doesn't know anything to anybody on either side. There was not a lot of support for Donald Trump in the Republican establishment in Washington, and there was none in the Democratic establishment. So the problem is he comes to town with very few obvious and natural allies. The advantage may be that he doesn't know anything to anybody. He can govern almost as an independent. Now, having said that, you have to also acknowledge that he won the campaign because of an enormous amount of help from the Republican National Committee and Chairman Reince Priebus and the ground operation they created. So it wasn't as if he was entirely an independent candidate at all. But in terms of the congressional wing of the party, there was limited support there, and he's going to have to deal with that now as well.